All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
All right. How you doing?
Finally, I'm
Finally.
finally on. I'm
All right.
good. Well, I wanted to just tell a little of my story. I was addicted to drugs for 27 years. I started in the 80s smoking freebasing. I was like 15 years old with freebasing cocaine, and then later it was crack. So I've changed my life. It's been on about a little about 12 years now, and I just now I'm counseling. I've been to college. I got 3 degrees, and I'm a DCFF investigator. So the women I see, when I come in their house, I can smell the stench of it, and I know the kids there, and I'm like, "You been getting high?" And I be trying to talk to them. They said, "No, I ain't getting high. I'm getting high." I said, "You know, I got to send you out, and they'll go out and they'll go, do their drop, and you know, sometimes it don't be good. And these young girls, they taking the blunts and they lacing them with the crack. And I just
Let me,
find it hard. I just find it really, it's difficult for me because it could have been me. It could have been me because I'm a mother. It could have been my kids taking. And I look at them and I just really be trying to like encourage them, talk to them. Don't do this. Don't mess your kids up like this. Don't get you do get chances. You do. You
mm-hmm.
really do. And how I got mine was I kept walking down Cicero trying to get to the church on the west side, trying to go for prayer. And then dudes would be walking past me, opening their mouth, and all I see is silver bags, crack in their mouth. And then I started looking at them, and I started seeing like slits, like cat eyes. So I was trying to find a way to get off the stuff. I couldn't, it was hard. So I was young, and I think about the young people who I encounter when I do my counseling sessions online, and it just breaks my heart. Because it's like they doing all kinds of stuff, and they only, and when I do the nine panel drug test, it's like you just swab in their mouth, it come up all kinds of stuff. Angel dust, I didn't even know angel dust was still out. All kinds, and the girls be like, "Are you serious? Are you sure that's in my system?" I'm like, "Yeah, look." And they be like, "I just smoke weed. I just smoke weed." I'm like, It's showing more than weed. It's saying you got heroin. They say, I don't do no heroin. I promise you. Because we consider marijuana legal.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, I don't do this. I don't do no PCP. And I'll be like, but look. So yeah, that's what's going on. This young people, young, and it's
Can
just
I ask
messing
you a
them up
question?
because they starting to think different.
I want to ask you a question. Okay. I need to know, and if you don't have to answer, who introduced you to drugs? That's what I need to know. How did it come about at the start?
Well,
We know the end now. The end, yeah.
Well, back in the day, I used to hang out. I used to live on Madison and Kersey. We see Don Juan riding up and down the street. We see all the prostitutes on the street. And I used to hang with this dude because it was like, he was like, because I was biracial, and he was like my protection light because they was trying to come for me. I don't know, it's the pimps or somebody, they were trying to come for me. And he used to be like, Mika, you need to hang with me. So I started hanging with him, and I would start going to the spots, the dope houses, and he'd be serving them. And I'd just be standing there watching them with them glasses, like, getting high.
Right.
And he never let me touch none of it. He never. Just so happened, I get with another person on some drugs years later. And then I was like, let me try that. And then I tried it. And then after that, it was just like, I'm finna go get my own. How do you do it? And it just ruined my life. I spent all those years. I spent my teens, my 20s, my towards the end of my 30s. I wasted so many years. It took the youth. I didn't even know how to even be like I missed those years. And like, some people could say, oh, I done this when I was, young. I went to the little party here and there, but it strips you. It takes away. And that's when I started noticing when I got clean, I had 2 strokes. I had 2 strokes because my body was used to the drugs. So I guess I was just, you know, detoxing. I didn't go into no facility. I went to Haymarket, but then I was telling them, give me my cigarettes. I'm out of here. Because they were telling me I need to lay down. I'm a boss. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna tell me to lay down up in here. Give me my squares. I'm up out of here. And I left up out of there. Then a month later, I ended up having a stroke because I said, you know, I'm going to leave all this stuff alone. I'm going to stop doing the heroin. I'm going to stop doing all. And then I had a stroke. Then I laid up in the hospital, like, God, please, please get me off this stuff. But everybody who I knew was doing something. So it was like the relationships. If I didn't have those relationships, those people, you know, they say people, places, and things. Yeah, that's it. Those people, places, and things. And that's why I be telling the young girls now. I be like, stop hanging with them. They gonna get your kids taken. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's how it started.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to tell my story.
So
but it's a success story for me. It's a success story for me because, you know, because all that I had went through, you know, with my, you know, like trying to detox that stroke and then just the survival of it, because I was hitting the highway. I was going out of town. I was making money. I was going to like Florida, doing strip clubs, making money, get back on the highway with my friend. We were doing it, but then I would go to the hotel, be missing life, missing out on life. And wouldn't even worth it. The money wouldn't even worth it because I was smoking it up. So yeah, that's my whole thing is if kids can kind of be around positive people, like other kids or somebody that can say, look, that they respect. Don't get caught up with these people. These people, this stuff is out here to destroy you. It's sent out here to destroy us. That's what all it is. It's so when I think about all the years, all the people that then died from drug overdose, from just it not Finland, you know, when it was hitting. I mean, when it was hitting the West Side. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I just think it's most important if we really kind of push it out here to our kids and let them know, no, it ain't happening. I'm not letting you smoke this in my house. Matter of fact, you're not smoking it at all. Because I got, like I said, these 9 panel drug tests, it show all these different substances, and they be like, what, I got this in my body? So they be so shocked to find out that they got all them drugs in their body, and they talking about they just smoking weed. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. If you had a room full of young people, as being a counselor, a recovering addict, what would you tell them? What would you just tell them? What would you, I mean, I'm talking about young folks.
Okay, but
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What would you tell them?
I'll tell them, it took me 4 times to pass the high school diploma. I never been incarcerated, but I've been locked up, but then I got out. I would say stay in school because I graduated from community college. I didn't know I was in literacy. I kept trying to go back to stop from getting high. So I didn't know I was in literacy, and that bothered me. I didn't have a high school diploma. That bothered me when I went around people and I lied and told them I had a high school diploma. Or they expected more out of me because the way I looked and dressed, and they always kept me a car. So they always expected that I had something else going on. My whole thing would be, go back to school, because you have more conversation than what you got. You can hold a conversation. You can bring a conversation on. And that's what I think is important. I think wisdom will carry you really a far place. I mean, not just the street wisdom. I'm talking about the education wisdom, because a lot of times what we get from these teachers is not really the reality of really what's going on in our world. You know, remember the Columbus and all that stuff. They're not really telling us about. You know, I grew up. We didn't know. We didn't know nothing about no slaves and blacks being, you know, brought over to here. We always heard all this, you know, Christopher Columbus, you know, the Indians and stuff like that. Get educated, go to school, become something, be a teacher. We need teachers. When I got my bachelor's, I got the opportunity, when I got interviewed by CPS, they asked me, because I didn't have no job experience. I had no experience. I'm just getting these diplomas and these degrees, no experience. And they said, why you want to teach? I said, because I see in the Black community, I see the poverty, And I see the lack of education that kids are really not getting compared to other ethnic groups, you know. And I know that it has a lot to do with, you know, taxes, paying for school supplies, paying for the teacher. But I found out teachers don't want to come to the Black community because they scared. And I talked to the men, then they gave me my position, and I go in the classroom, everybody all rally, and I'm like, hold up, everybody need to calm down, you know, but I try to be cool with them. I try not to let them just, you know, run over the classroom, but let them know we got structure here. But I think I would tell them, look, go back to school. Man, be a teacher. Be somebody. Be somebody that's not in your family. You know what I mean? Like, be somebody great. We always talk about being great. Well, you can be great. You are great. You mean? I'm a motivational type of person because I've been through so much, and I'm always trying to, anybody I meet, I'm always trying to uplift them. And I be all hyped up and I be all happy because I see so much misery, you know. So I'm always finding that happy place all the time.
Let me say something. It's two things I want from you.
Okay.
I want you to, I'm introduce you to my Facebook people. And I want you, if you could help them in any kind of way, any kind of way, tell them to reach out to you. Seriously. I mean, because
well, you know, I do
struggling. Go ahead.
You know, I do get, you know, my page. My page is Taimiki Brown, but I am married though. I am married, but and I'm not using my husband's name on that page. I'm married to an African man, who came and somebody told him about me, and they said, "Oh, she crazy. She be snapping out. She pulled out knives, guns on niggas." You know, that's how they were talking to him when I brought him around a lot of people in my family. And he pulled me to the side one day, and he said, "People are telling me about you. Look look who gave me your number. They telling me this, but I don't see that in you." And I said, "Yeah, I used to be on drugs." So people did try to, you know, pour salt on my life and try to just, you know, because I had a positive man in my life who was like, yes, do what you want. I'm here for you, you know. But overall, I do have a Facebook page, which I'm proud of because it was my page that I created because it was my faith that I trusted God. I said, God, get me off these drugs. I told God, if you God that they say you are, then get me off these drugs. I can't do it. I can't do this by myself. Because, you know, the pains I was having from trying to get off of it, the strokes and all that stuff. So my whole thing is, I ain't talking about, you know, like just go to church and just trust, you know, these pastors and all that stuff. But I pray and I ask for wisdom. I ask for God just to use me. I was going out there on the buses when people were growling at me and I was saying, look, turn your life around. God is coming. He is near. You know, so I was so motivated by the change of day. I woke up and I didn't have those pains no more. I woke up and it was like somebody's like, you know, it was like my life had just changed, you know. I went from literacy to, you know, master's working on the PhD, you know what I'm saying? But my point of what I'm saying is my page is Taimiki Brown. I'm going to put it right here. Let me put it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I get hyped up about this because it's a good hype. You know what I'm saying? This it's a good feeling because 27, it took me 27, it was 27 years, but it took me 28 because of stroke. And then boom. It took me a while for cigarettes. I said, God, show me who you are. I can't keep doing it. I'm a slave. I started Googling, what's in nicotine? What's in these cigarettes? I'm like, rat poison, gasoline. I'm like, I don't want to be inhaling all this stuff. You know, I'm like, I'm like, look, I got a daughter. I'm like, man, I got so much to live for now, even more, right? So I'm thinking, look, pray, you know, make amends with people. That's the whole thing. I don't have no issues with nobody. People be having issues with me, but I know it'd be a setup to try to distract me, you know, but I keep it moving. I be on a positive note. Say, hey, this is my daughter. This is my blessing.
She's beautiful.
And I'm always positive, trying to get to the next level. I don't have to get to the next level. I just want to keep busy and be around positive people. I want to be around people that's smarter than me. That's the key there too.
Mm-hmm.
Be around somebody that's smarter than you. I can't be around nobody. And look, I don't think I'm all down in the bag of chips. But what I'm saying is, I was around my mentors were some, you know, it was some drug dealers. They, you know, they did have it, you know, at that time, they were smart. Mika, don't be like that. That ain't how you do it. You can't do it. You can't make no money like that. You can't let them niggas know you thirsty. You know, I'm just being honest. That's how it was being taught to me. It was like in my ear, like, look, you a Leo, you know, you can't, you know. And then I always had that, all that encouragement, like, you know, but it was on a different level. But I took the level that I'm on now and I'm putting it somewhere else. And now I'm ready to give it all, I'm giving it all back. I'm like, sis, come on, sis. You can't be like this. You didn't do your link card. You over here smoking this stuff, all your kids up in here. You ain't really got nothing. I gotta take pictures inside your refrigerator. You ain't got no food. When you gonna bust this up? Why you living like this? I don't know, Miss Brown. No, he just, you know, look, let all that go. Let all that go. You know, so I'm always trying to, you know, come to that level where they at and say, look, get it together before you ruin your life. And before you have to repeat all this stuff and get your kids taken, and then, you know, it's going to make it harder for you, and your kids will be saying, why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? So I always try to go there, like where their problem at. But that's how I do it. And then if you want to follow me on my page, you can go ahead and follow me. I do some little quotes, but lately I've been doing counseling online. So I've been kind of really busy. But yeah, that's what's up with me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Listen. You know what?
I ain't got no makeup
see,
on.
this is what I said, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Your daughter's beautiful.
I ain't got no makeup on. I was like, if he let me in, I'm just gonna come on like this.
That's right.
All right, then. Well, thank you for having me. Yeah. What's the song?
I got a testimony.
All right, then. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the hearts and the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. More power to you all. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Let me
get out.
See, people, as we always say, if we could just have one person, we've done our job. We're not